When you see the words sugar-free on a label, it can sound like a healthy choice. After all, less sugar should mean fewer calories and better overall health, right? Well, it's not always that simple. Today, we're exploring whether sugar-free items are actually good for your health. Let's start with what sugar-free really means. According to food labeling regulations in many countries, a product labeled as sugar-free must contain less than 0.5 grams of sugar per serving. But this doesn't necessarily mean it's free of sweetness. Most sugar-free products use artificial or natural sweeteners as substitutes. These include aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, stevia, and erythritol. They're much sweeter than sugar, but contain little to no calories. So, what's the benefit? For people managing diabetes or those trying to reduce calorie intake, sugar-free items can be helpful. They don't spike blood sugar levels and can support dietary goals. But here's where things get complicated. While sugar-free items avoid actual sugar, they don't always support healthy eating habits. Some studies suggest that large amounts of artificial sweeteners may affect gut health, increase cravings for sweets, and even be linked to weight gain over time. There's also a psychological factor. When we see sugar-free, we often think guilt-free, and that can lead to overeating. A sugar-free biscuit is still a processed treat and may contain unhealthy fats or refined ingredients. And let's talk taste. Some sweeteners leave a lingering aftertaste, which not everyone enjoys. This can make naturally sweet whole foods, like fruit, seem less satisfying by comparison. Not all sugar-free items are created equal either. Some use natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit, which are generally better tolerated. Others rely on highly processed substitutes with names you can't pronounce. So, can sugar-free items actually be good for your health? The answer is, it depends. Used occasionally and in moderation, they can be a helpful part of your diet. But they're not a magic fix. The best approach? Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Enjoy real fruit for natural sweetness, stay hydrated, and aim to reduce your taste for hypersweet flavors over time. Remember, good health isn't just about cutting sugar. It's about building sustainable habits that nourish your body and mind. Protein is an essential nutrient that helps repair muscles, supports our immune system, and keeps us energized. So for many people who are cutting down on meat consumption, protein powder seems like a great solution, right? But here's the big question. Can protein powder actually substitute meat in your diet? To answer this question, we need to look a little bit closer at what protein powder actually contains. Protein powders come from different sources: whey and casein from milk, soy and pea from plants, and even rice or hemp proteins. They're processed, ground into a fine powder, and sometimes mixed with flavorings, vitamins, or additives. One scoop can provide 20 to 30 grams of protein, the same as a chicken breast. So, in terms of pure protein, powders look like an easy swap. But here's where the comparison gets tricky. Meat isn't just protein. It also provides other nutrients like iron, which carries oxygen in your blood, zinc, which supports healing and immunity, vitamin B12, which keeps nerves and blood cells healthy. These are nutrients many protein powders don't naturally contain unless they're fortified. And deficiencies, especially in iron and B12, can lead to fatigue, weakness, and long-term health problems. So, why do people love protein powder? Well, it's convenient as there is no cooking required, and it's versatile as you can mix it into smoothies, porridge, or even baked goods. And for athletes, it's a quick way to repair muscles after training. Plus, for vegetarians or vegans, plant-based protein powders can help bridge the protein gap without relying on meat at all. But relying solely on protein powder has downsides. It lacks the fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats found in whole foods. some powders are highly processed and can include sugars, artificial flavorings, or fillers. And depending on the brand, heavy metals like lead or arsenic have occasionally been found in low-quality powders. So, replacing meat entirely with powders means missing out on important nutrients and risking over-reliance on a supplement. So, can protein powder replace meat completely? Not really. Protein powder is best seen as a supplement, not a substitute. It works well alongside a balanced diet, especially if you also eat beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and vegetables. For those reducing or avoiding meat, the smartest approach is variety. Try to combine different plant proteins and use protein powder as a top-up. Use protein powder when you need convenience. Don't depend on it as your only protein source. Choose whole foods whenever possible. They give you the extra nutrients powders don't. And if you're going meat-free, plan your meals carefully to get enough iron, B12, and zinc. So, protein powder can support your diet, but it can't fully replace meat. Think of it as a supportive option. Useful, convenient, but not a complete substitute for real nutrient-rich foods. The smartest approach is to use protein powder in moderation, pair it with a wide variety of whole foods, and aim for a diet that truly nourishes your body.
The science and benefits of fasting. Fasting isn't just about skipping meals. It's backed by science as a powerful tool for improving health, sharpening focus, and boosting well-being. Let's explore the biology behind fasting and how it works. When you fast, your body shifts from using glucose for energy to burning stored fat. This process is called ketosis. This switch helps with weight loss and energy efficiency. Additionally, fasting activates autophagy. This is a cellular cleanup process that removes damaged cells and promotes regeneration, reducing inflammation and protecting against diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. Fasting improves insulin sensitivity, helping to regulate blood sugar levels and lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. It also reduces inflammation, strengthens immunity, and supports cardiovascular health by lowering cholesterol and blood pressure. Studies even suggest fasting may extend your lifespan. Fasting isn't just good for your body, it also benefits your brain. Fasting increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which supports cognitive function and memory. Many people experience improved focus, reduced stress, and emotional resilience while fasting. Intermittent fasting is a flexible and popular way to incorporate fasting into daily life. The 16-to-8 method involves fasting for 16 hours and eating within an 8-hour window, while the 5-to-2 method involves eating normally for 5 days and restricting calories for 2. These approaches make fasting sustainable and easy to adopt. Beyond science, fasting fosters gratitude, self-discipline, and mindfulness. Many cultures and religions practice fasting for spiritual growth, allowing deeper reflection and self-control. Fasting is a simple yet powerful practice with profound effects on the body, mind, and spirit. Have you tried fasting? Why not give it a go and share your experiences in the comments below? We hope you found the information in this video useful.